Hello everybody, my name is Cool Blue, and I'm bringing you guys yet another CasNet Network Presents CasNet Interview. And this one it's just as special as all the other ones, but this one's a little bit more special because I have somebody here with me that I was a huge fan of, I still am a huge fan of, and she agreed to interview with me. So, without further ado, Sheever, would you like to say hello to all the beautiful people out there?
Hello, all the beautiful people out there.
Yes, and
Yes.
you agreed to interview with me, and I'm just like stoked that you agreed to interview with me in the first place. So I'll try my hardest to keep my fanboyism down while we do this interview. So we'll start questions off very light. Would you like to introduce yourself as far as like your real life, what you do for work? You don't have to say your real name if you don't want to.
Well, I think people can know my real name, but if I say it, people will forget it anyway because it's kind of a difficult name. But I'm Sheever, I'm a Dota 2 caster, and at the moment I don't do anything else but streaming and casting Dota.
Okay, that's a very full-featured job set there. So as far as your name, you mentioned Sheever, that was your name, caster name. And there was a time before where you told us where your name came from, but I forgot. So Sheever, would you like to tell us again where you got the name Sheever from?
Well, I was supposed to make a World of Warcraft account, and I used to have a character on my sister's account, which was just called, like, it was a Dutch name, like, and I wanted a different name, and I was looking for a different name because my younger sister had like Tigrish, my older sister had Delphine, you know, pretty names and good nicknames. I didn't have that, so I was kind of jealous. And it was looking really hard to find a name, and in the end, I was reading a book at the time. I think I was, and I just opened the page, which happened to be the second page apparently. And there was a sea serpent, and the lady sea serpent was called Sheever, so Shreever, and I removed the R from that, the first one, and I just called myself Sheever, and I actually did not think it would stick. But it was like, at least it is not something Dutchy, and it's very generic, I guess.
Yeah, it's generic but specific enough to people where somebody says Sheever, they know exactly who they're talking about. Well, probably because of other reasons, but we'll get to those reasons a little bit later on. But for now, let's go and start off. How did you get into video games? Because you mentioned your sister Tigrish, and if I remember from reading your bio, she kind of got you started, but I'll let you tell the story.
Yeah, it's like into video games. Like, we used to have a DOS computer at the attic, which was, I was sleeping in the attic in the house that we were living in at that point. So we had like Lemmings and Snipes and all kinds of weird kind of games. But in terms of real video games, like, we had a game computer when we were very young at some point, but can't remember that anymore. My brother used to have a Nintendo 64, which I wanted to play a lot of, but not always allowed because, you know, it wasn't mine. But that's where I played Zelda, for example. Zelda: The Ocarina of Time, one of the best games ever.
Oh, man.
Played that.
I'm on the other side of the river, but keep going.
We had in, I think it was 2000. I think 2000 or 1999. Wow. It was
that's 15 years ago.
We got our first Windows computer then.
Ooh,
and we had SimCity 2000. So that was our first Windows computer. Now, a while later, I actually bought my first game. Like, it was at that point, it was 100, the currency that we had then in the Netherlands, which wasn't the euro yet, and it was GTA 5. No, not 5. It was GTA 2.
Oh, I was about to say, whoa. Okay.
Yeah. No, GTA 2 was the first game I've ever bought, and it was like, I bought it as a present for myself. I even made people in the store wrap it for me. It was good, and it was like, that was the first game I actually bought, and it was awesome, and I played it a lot. But it all was still not online games, obviously. Right. And then my older sister, played Battlefield Vietnam, I think it was. I never really played that, but like, she was the first one that went into doing LANs and going to LANs, and it is playing with a bit of a community there as well. And my younger sister played Jazz Jackrabbits, which also was online. And around that time, I was playing a stupid online game called Fairyland, which was an MMORPG, but then turn-based, and it was kind of bad, but it was kind of fun as well because everybody had pets and it was cool. But like, we had Warcraft 3, we played Frozen Throne, Reign of Chaos, and all that. And my younger sister, was the first one to get a World of Warcraft account. and I wasn't allowed to have an account on her account or a character on her account.
Wait, why
and,
not?
and you know, you live with your brothers and sisters,
Uh-huh.
so everybody is allowed 1 hour on the PC, and when that hour is done, it's someone else's turn. So at that point, it was perfect because, you know, then my sister had to leave the computer and then I could actually play on her account. Now, that at some point went wrong when she got her own computer.
Oh, okay.
And then I couldn't play, because she was then always online and I couldn't play on her account anymore. I wasn't the only one with that problem, because my dad was also having a World of Warcraft character on her account, and he also couldn't play anymore on her account because she was playing all the time. So he created his own account, and I made a character on his account.
Okay.
And that was where it went wrong, because I was then studying in a different city, and of course, during the day, I was at home, but my dad was at work, so I could always play. But I couldn't play in the evenings, because that was when my dad was playing.
Right.
And in the evenings was okay, because then I had sorority stuff and social activities. So yeah, I played a lot of World of Warcraft then. And at some point, I figured I made my own account, and that's when it went wrong. Installing that game on the computer, like my student computer, that's where things started to go from just games for fun in the weekend to games all the time.
So no studying was ever done?
Yeah, I graduated, that's all fine.
Okay,
I didn't get that much delay from gaming until the last year, in which case that wasn't just the gaming that delayed me, but also the anxiety of graduating. But yeah, it's I started like real gaming with World of Warcraft, like real long hours, a lot of the same game.
Right.
Big, yeah.
And like just continues to you mentioned like you did a lot of raids and stuff, and then you stopped raiding after a while, and then you started transitioning into other games, which will lead us into our next question. How did you get into Dota exactly?
Well, I played Dota 1 in Frozen Throne. I played fun maps, at Battle.net. So I did some Dota 1, which was always fun. And now I was in a World of Warcraft guild, of course, and we were raiding all the time, and some people sometimes did a bit of League of Legends. And I had a League of Legends account. I never actually leveled it up to level 30, but I played a couple of games, and it's very stupid because, you know, you remember Dota.
Right.
No, not the game, but you remember Dota, and you know the heroes and you know the items, and you don't really want to put the effort into knowing different things. At least, like I did 2 or 3 games of Han, and then I didn't want to learn everything over again because that's just felt stupid.
Agreed.
But you know, I got back a bit into the genre itself, like remembering it, not necessarily playing a lot, but just, you know, knowing it again. And when I cold turkeyed World of Warcraft, first of all, I was already signed up for Dota 2 beta key, which I didn't have at the time. I didn't, by the way. Well, that's okay.
Right.
That doesn't matter. But no, I didn't have Dota 2 when I quit World of Warcraft.
Okay.
But I did have Skyrim, and I played that for 2 weeks straight because it's very difficult if you're used to gaming every single night in World of Warcraft. You can't just cold turkey and then, you know, what do? You're still sitting behind your computer because that's your rhythm.
You can always read a book or do pottery or watch TV. I don't.
Yeah, watch TV is so boring. Like I normally have.
Thank you. Somebody agrees with me.
But it's like you want to do something on the side as well. Like if I play Dota right now, then I at least, like, my whole brain is into Dota. But if I wasn't playing World of Warcraft, if I wasn't raiding, then I was playing World of Warcraft or grinding or questing, whatever, and having something else on the side screen, normally movies or series or something. But like it's like you can't do that at watching TV and doing something else at the same time. So I don't know. It doesn't take all my attention. That's probably the downside. But I got a Dota 2 beta key when Death Prophet came out in December 2011.
Wow, that's that was way before. I'm trying to think of all this relative to when I started playing Dota, which is about 2 years ago. Well, a year and a half.
Full-time game.
Say again? Oh wait, hold on, I lost you. All right, so we have to wait momentarily while we get reconnected with Sheever and Skype. But I was mentioning before that I've been in me personally, Cool Blue, have been playing Dota for about a year and a half now, and that was when PL came out. For those who want to know that. So anyway, once we get ourselves fully reconnected, we should be fine. And I think we have you back.
Yeah, we have me back.
Okay, don't worry. I'm a pro at stalling. That's what casting has taught me. But you were mentioning something about when you first got your beta key.
Yeah, I got my beta key in December 2011, and I was still used to playing like games all the time, so I started just playing Dota all the time.
Hmm. And it's just that transition just happened because you had that void of nothing to play, except for Skyrim, of course. And either that's an awkward silence or we lost Sheever once again. I'm gonna take a moment to think about which one do you guys think it is? I mean, you hear the Skype in the background, so it's probably that drop call. This is all fine. The call's gonna be going through once again, and hopefully we have Sheever again.
I'm back. Sorry.
It's fine.
The proxy server is located in the US, I believe, but you know, you shouldn't have that much lag.
Yeah, come on, it's the US, the government. That's all I gotta say. We have issues. We have issues. But moving on from that, though, you were talking about the beta key. You got into it, and I was just mentioning that you were filling the void of not having a game to play with Dota.
Yes.
Okay.
But then I play Dota all the time. So.
And now Dota's the new thing, taking up all your time.
Taking up all my time.
And actually, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit before we get into our next question. Who is Tigrish and how is she doing? Because you mentioned her before. You mentioned the name Tigrish, and you mentioned Delphi too.
Yeah, well, Tigrish is my sister. She got a full-time job though. Like she used to play a lot with me. Dota 2, she still does sometimes, and she used to be very involved as well. But with a full-time job now, which is 40 hours a week, and then sometimes she's working weekends on a different job that she really loves to do.
Right.
That she also doesn't want to stop. She's not playing that much anymore, but my sister and supports me and stuff.
She still exists.
And Delphine is my sister as well. It's a different one.
Right.
But never been really that much into Dota 2 itself. But supports me too.
Okay. That's good. It's good to hear the family's all doing well and nobody's like gone away. Because I haven't heard anything about Tigrish in forever. That's all I gotta say.
She is. Okay. Yeah, she's been playing a bit more with me recently. We actually went to the Lego movie last Saturday. So.
Oh, that did come out last week. I want to go see that.
It's a good movie. It's fun.
It's Lego anything is
awesome.
fun. Lego anything is fun. Lego Indiana Jones shouldn't have happened. I'm sorry, but everything else Lego is awesome.
Yeah, you should watch the movie. It's good. It's good.
Okay, good to hear. You guys should go check that out too. If this is way in the future, go check it out anyway because it's still a good movie. According to Sheever. All right.
It is.
So, what is your favorite thing about Dota?
That it never tires. Like it is. Like it's the weird thing is it's always the same game, it's the same map-ish, but it's always different. And like when casting, there's no game that's the same.
I totally agree.
It's always different.
Now you see some of the same strategies over and over, like Prophet Necro 3. Oh, it's so boring. But it's still different every single time as to how he gets about that. So I do definitely agree. Like the dynamicness that you get from Dota, I would agree 100%. So that also brings us into our next thing. Sheever, the quick response section. Do you know how this works?
You say something and I say the first thing that comes to mind?
Exactly. Because I just made that rule up because it's kind of an unofficial thing. But anyway, let's go and get started. So there are 3 questions I'm going to ask you, and all of them are about your favorite / the first. So, your favorite hero?
Venomancer Crystal Maiden.
Okay. First hero you played in Dota 2?
Death Prophet.
Oh wow. That makes sense. Favorite courier?
Prismatic Drake and Zebra.
Prismatic Drake, okay. And one question I didn't throw in, your favorite outfit in Dota, like your favorite piece.
Oh, in game you mean, right?
Yes.
At the moment that would be... Like the thing is, I don't really have a favorite outfit. I like to mix around with different hairstyles. I like those. I like different... oh no, I know. It's for a hero, don't play. It's the Luna Dragon mount. I don't really care about the rest. It's just the mount, the dragon. She rides a dragon. Or Morkant, the Marana mount, the Morkant mount. I like that one too.
Okay. I'll definitely go looking those up because I don't know what either of those are.
The Luna Dragon mount, you've seen it. It's the Chinese thing.
Oh, okay, that. Right, okay. I still, all I gotta say is I think Snell's the coolest courier. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there on the record. But moving on, how did you get into casting? Because you mentioned before, like you did casting and playing are always different things. But how did you get into casting in general? Because that's kind of like a long shot from playing to casting.
Well, I wasn't intended. Like I mentioned that I was playing Skyrim a bit, and I was the first one of my guild to get the game, Skyrim, that is. So I was gonna show the game 2 guildies over stream. That was the first time I ever streamed. So I streamed a bit of Skyrim then. And then I got Dota, and I streamed a bit of Dota as well. It really little amounts though, and the maximum amount of viewers I had was like 7. Like when I got 17 viewers, I was like, oh my god, there's 17 people watching me. So like, I didn't really stream that much. I started out on Twitch. I went to Owned, and then went back to Twitch at some point as well. I streamed a bit for a German website, but just like really few amount of viewers, just regular.
Right.
And I wanted to do something more in Dota too at some point. And I was on the Join Dota forums. I do watch those, unfortunately, sometimes.
Right.
At least, sometimes the community there is kind of, you know.
Well,
but
this community in general. We'll get to community questions, but go ahead.
Yeah, we'll get. But I was looking to do something more in Dota 2, and there was this Mishmash amateur Dota 2 tournament that was looking for admins. So I volunteered as an admin for the Mishmash tournament, and me and another admin were hosting the first series of the games. Like we had a lot of signups. It was fun, the tournament, and we figured, you know what, we want to have some more exposure. So we would stream the match out. So we would sit there, and we were sitting there, and you know the game's going on, and we figured, you know, we might as well say something because you know, otherwise you're just sitting there and not doing anything. So we started basically casting that as utter noobs, because it was really the first time ever, and it was. But the first cast, by the way, is not on YouTube, but the second time when people started asking for VODs, I actually put them up on YouTube, so you can check them out. Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Yes,
but yeah, we started casting the matches, and I really liked it. I continued doing it, and I casted all the Mishmash tournament matches. And at some point, someone asked, like, "Do you want to, like, I have an amateur tournament this weekend or coming weekend or whatnot? Do you want to cast some games of it?" I was like, "Sure." So I basically had, like, my second tournament was basically a 14-hour casting day, because it was just a one-day tournament, and you know, no problem. Figured that was normal, but yeah, that was. There were a lot of games. It was a lot of fun as well, and even after a day like that, I still found it fun. So I continued casting, and I just casted the Mishmash tournament, some other amateur tournament things, and at some point, someone from Gosu Gamers, GJ, I believe his name was. Said, well, perhaps you should apply to Gosu Gamers as a caster, because I know that they're looking for one, and you seem dedicated. Because I was casting a lot, and not for viewers, just because I liked it. So and I applied, and then Gods contacted me, and I got accepted. Wow. So and I was only casting for a month then, so I was the noobiest noob, which actually didn't really. Like, I actually think that might have kind of hurt my career, because, like, at that point when I got into casting, and that definitely helped me also get further into casting, there were a lot of games that were not casted, that were still games that people wanted to watch. For example, Starladder, which was covered by Gosu Gamers at that point, had 2 games at the same time, almost all the time, and there was Gosu League as well, and Purge was then the only caster together with Gods, and Gods didn't have that much time to cast anymore, and I was also busy with other stuff. So at some point on a Saturday, I remember I casted Quantic versus SK Gaming, and Purge was doing something else, and I did not have a co-caster. So I was casting Quantic versus SK Gaming, which was my first, like, 1.5 months into casting, my first real big match, and I was so nervous. And you know, there's all these people that have been in Dota for years, that Quantic and SK, big names, and they have been fans for those teams for like ages, and then some newbie girl comes sitting there telling people about the game, and like, yeah, that was a bit harsh, that was a bit of a plunge into like the deep water, me trying to swim, but it didn't really like, yeah, that was an interesting experience. But yeah, I got to cast big games because there were just casts or games that weren't casted, and that was how I got into casting, basically.
And that sounds like one whirlwind of a way to get into casting. I mean, like, to go from just, you know, streaming things casually to getting to big team names that fast. I mean,
and also having a full-time job at the same time.
Oh, wow. Oh man. Were you trying to kill yourself? Like why did you?
I learned from World of Warcraft. I had a very strict schedule in terms of, you know, I had to get home, cycle real hard, and then I had like 30 minutes, or basically 20 minutes when I got home before I had to be at my computer to be there for raiding, and then at 12 we would stop raiding, and at 1:30 or 12:30 I would sleep. So I had a very strict schedule in terms of sleeping schedule, and how many hours I could do with sleep. So that helped with casting as well, I guess. But yeah, it was a very busy time for me, that's for sure.
Okay, so in a sense, your Warcraft raiding habits have helped you become a better caster in general.
I guess so, in terms of stamina, for sure.
Okay, so that helps out, especially when you said the 14 hours of casting. Just to preference things a little bit, I was an admin for the Sunday Evening Cup series, sponsored by NA Dota, and that event lasted from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. and it was every Sunday, and I was dog tired afterwards every single time. And this is just as adminning. Like before, I was trying to admin and cast, and I had to stop that soon after because that wasn't working out.
That's crazy.
So to say 14 hours of casting, I feel pain all over.
It might have not been 14 games, you know, there might have been breaks in between, because normally amateur games have got a pretty big difference in skill.
Yeah.
So it could have been just stomps and waiting, but I remember it was 14 hours on the VOD, so yeah. It's a long time.
Sheever the Incredible, that's all I gotta say. Alright, so I guess this would be a perfect time to ask a question. So what advice would you give to people who are trying to become new casters? Like what advice would you give them to get into the casting business? For in general, like not just Dota, something like League of Legends or Han or Smite if they want to go for it.
Well, in general, there is one basic ground rule, which is the reason that I'm still here, which is the reason that every caster, almost every caster, is still here, is you have to love the game, and just you would do it like you would. I would cast if I would be getting like, congratulations, Sheever, you're now a winner of like 10 million euros, and you know I would still do what I'm doing right now.
Right, but that's more comfortably.
More comfortably, that's for sure. I might have a studio or something like that, or people to press buttons on my computer. But yeah, like I would still do the same. You have to love what you do, and if you don't do that, then you probably aren't going to be able to have enough stamina to do it long enough for you to get noticed. Because that is, or to get noticed, to create a fan base as well, to create people that, or to have people that support you in what you do, that want to help you further, and that's something like. I love what I do, so I continue doing it, and I have now a lot of people that do support me in what I do as well, which helps me a ton.
Yes. And
if indeed people or a community or whatnot is like, if I have an off day or bad day, then they're accepting of that too, and it's just you have to do what you love, and if you don't also, then people will notice. You can't fake casting.
No.
You can't fake enthusiasm about a game. That's just. You can probably do it for a little while, but casting is quite intense, and if you do it for a long time, it will break you up. You will have a breakdown.
Yes, I mean, in general, if you don't get emotionally drained while you cast sometimes, then it's like, yeah, you're not doing it right.
Exactly.
I would have to agree with the points that you made, and actually, I guess we can jump right into the questions, the viewer question. Okay. So you mentioned something about the community, and I'm just plunging headfirst into the thick of it. Going from 1 month or a 1 month grace period between starting casting and casting the big names. There's also another factor thrown in there that you mentioned, that you being the newbie girl who's telling people how to play the game. So I want to focus more on the girl part. So you being a female in the gaming community in general, as a female caster, do you find the community to be frustrating at times? And if so, how? And if not, then why not?
Well, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, to be honest. Especially, like, if a girl starts casting, just in general, in any game, or streaming even, people want to know, just, who is that?
Right.
What kind of girl is she? So, and as a caster, people instantly, like, see your cast, and as a girl, you get instantly exposure for that. Be that negative or positive, but you get exposure. It's going to be there. People are going to click your stream. People want to know. And it's just, it's nice because people instantly know you, and therefore you know, your name is out there. That's step one. And that's something that's very difficult for starting casters who are not female, because there are a lot of casters out there, but how do you get your name out there? How do people know that you're even casting? That's the difficult part. While for girls, there's often, you know, the girl factor kicking in.
Right.
Now, that's the positive side of it. And then comes the negative side, because
oh god, Twitch chat.
you kind of get lifted over the horse.
Yeah.
That's a Dutch saying. There's like for me personally, you know, it's great that I got known so early on in my career, but a lot of people will have seen my earlier cast and will instantly thought, well, you know, she is crap, and they were absolutely right, because I was only doing that for such a short period of time.
Right, right.
And therefore, I didn't have the grace period where, you know, right now there's a lot of casters, male casters, just casting and getting the experience of casting just in general, while I didn't have that. I instantly got, you know, to be on the big screen, so to say. Right. So I get judged harsher because I didn't have, like, yeah, because I sucked basically. So that's like over the horse, like. Yeah, leg over the horse, not leg up or leg over. But yeah, it's a double-edged sword in terms of community. Like right now, and obviously I'm now almost 2 years into casting.
Oh wow, okay.
And it's it's a long time as well. I've been to both internationals since then, so that's really awesome. That's like my big achievements. But I've been like in here 2 years. I think that there are very few, like, it's difficult to deal with the community, and I mean there is a lot of people that support me. I recently saw an image of a like a what was it? Basically, was a comic. There was this guy, and with all the kinds of all kinds of bubbles, chat bubbles around him, like, "Oh, dude, you're awesome! Oh, dude, you're cool! You're doing this well! You're doing this well!" And there was one comment that was like, "You're a jerk sometimes." And the next image, it was the same images with the guy, this time eating, and still with all the comments around him, but with all the comments a bit grayed out. Apart from that, "You're a jerk sometimes." And then the next image is the guy in bed with all the comments grayed out, apart from some "you can be a jerk sometimes." So because that is very true, the negativity stands out. Yeah, it just does. Next to that, there is normally, if you like, as a human being, people complain. That's their thing. You like, if you compare complaining to saying that you like something, you normally complain rather than saying that. Like, if you like something, it's okay, you know, nice, but you're not going to make a forum post about it. No. But if you hate something, well, forum post about it, and there's going to be like it's more vocal than the naysayers. Right. I so it's difficult to deal with that, and it varies from day to day, especially like. For example, now you also have at the moment you have the Total Biscuit thing, where he left his own subreddit. He did? And he made a big post about that as well, or at least he was forced to make a big post out of that because people were started to flame him for leaving his own subreddit. But, like, I can deal with hate. Obviously, I've proven that since I'm still here and, you know, have had a lot of threads made. But it is... what he called it, death by 1,000 cuts, because I can take one comment, I can take 2 comments, and I can take them all, but it is still having a bit of an impact, and it has changed me quite a bit as well.
And like just to get a little background on myself, like the reason why I kind of started casting was, well, I kind of looked at the community and said, okay, we can do better as far as community in general, not necessarily casting or anything. That's something else. I had to learn that. That's a difficult lesson to learn for everybody who's starting out. But. Purge made a video where he's just basically talking about how to become a caster, and that's kind of where it started for me. And one of the things he said was that criticism is hard to take.
I saw that one too.
like he said, criticism is hard to take, and not because it's difficult criticism. It's just because, I mean, it's like somebody punches you in the face, and then somebody else comes along and punches you in the face, and they don't tell you why. They just punch you in the face. And there's a lot of people who just punch you in the face instead of telling you why they punch you in the face. And it's like, well, just punch me in the face. What are you gonna do? I mean, that's it. Just gonna walk away. And if you multiply that by 1,000 people, it is a death by 1,000 cuts. I do agree.
Yeah, so that is difficult to take with and to deal with, and that is also something that starting casters, and especially females, because they get noticed earlier, they get judged harsher, because most people will assume that they are there because they have boobs, That's something that they have to learn to take, and it's very like it's stupid because it shouldn't be that way, but it is.
Yeah, and I will have to go back and say that I'm guilty of that because there was one time after I watched your stream, actually last week, no, it was a Saturday. Today's Monday, by the way, but it was Saturday, and like I got done watching your stream, and then I went to the Twitch channel to see all the Dota streams, and there was a girl, and I clicked on it because it was a girl. Like there was no other reason for me to click on it.
If you look at the League of Legends section of highlights made, there's you have because you got live videos and you've got highlights, right? You use your normal videos. The highest clicked ones are the ones with the boobs.
Yeah, even man boobs. Man boobs count too.
Man boobs count too. Just yeah.
But it's you had to have a neck beard if you do that. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but it's the way it is. It shouldn't be, but is it gonna change? Probably not. So we better accept it the way it is, I guess. But it is, it is something that you deal with. The most difficult part about it, about that part actually, because you know I can deal with it. That's fine. But my mom sometimes is on Twitch chat as well.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah, and YouTube comments, for example, my mom sometimes reads them as well, and that hurts me.
Oh man, oh geez.
That she has to see that.
Like first the question of what is Kappa, and then the next question of oh my gosh, Sheever, did you really do that? And it's like oh gosh, mom, no, that's okay. Yep, this just got very awkward. Let's go move to the next question if you don't mind.
That's okay.
Okay, next question. How long do you see yourself being involved in Dota as far as casting or... Actually, that question is very vague, so just Dota.
Well, as long as I like it, basically, because I'm still sticking to the point that I can't do it if I don't love it, and right now I'm loving it, and it's not gonna go away for now. So I don't know. For as long as I love doing it, basically. Okay.
And the other questions above that I skipped over. What do you like about casting? What do you not like about casting? I feel like we covered that enough. So I'll just ask the question of what events have you casted in? Because more background on me before I let you answer. The first time I ever heard about you was TI2, and you were casting one of those games. I was like, oh look, it's a girl, and yeah, I kind of just clicked on it. But you were there, and you actually sounded like you knew what you were talking about. And also, my Dota crashed, so I had to watch on Twitch, and you were streaming. So,
well, what was the question exactly again?
Question is, what events have you casted in?
Oh, well, I started casting the Ghost League. And Star Ladder as well. I casted every Star Ladder from season 4 onwards, I believe. Yeah, from season 4 onwards, and we're now at season 9. And I'm probably not going to cast season 9 apparently, but oh well, that to the side. But I casted that. I casted a lot of amateur tournaments. I cast. I don't know. I casted a lot of stuff.
Like as far as big ticket events, because like I mentioned TI2, you've casted that one before, right? Actually, hold on, we just lost connection.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
It's
Hello?
I hear you. Okay, you're still here.
Okay, cool. So I casted a lot of smaller stuff. I casted some bigger stuff. Like the most consistent one has been Star Ladder. I casted I wanted to cast more. That was basically my thing. So I casted all the qualifiers of TI2 purely because I wanted to. I mean, obviously they were already covered by everybody else. Right. But I just wanted to cast. And I also believe that is where I found my play-by-play rhythm. At some point that just changed. But I casted those qualifiers, and I wanted to do the same thing with the group stages. And the luck I had, semi-luck, I guess, with the group stages of TI2 were that there were 4 games going on at the same time, all the time. Right. And there were 3 caster pairs.
So you got a solo cast?
No, I casted everything from Dota TV at first. Everything that was not covered by one of the 3 pairs. And of course the pairs I'm talking about is Toby +1, AC +1, and LD +1, and so I got to cast teams, top teams that were in Tier 2, right? Or that were in Tier 2 that were not casted by anybody else. So that was quite a unique experience, and I was one of 2 people doing that. Now I say 2, but Triumph of Man, if you still remember him,
no, I do not.
He was casting all the Absolute Legends games because he was an Absolute Legends caster. Okay. And some of the Absolute Legends games weren't casted, so he casted the same ones as I did. And after day 1, or after day 1, I believe, I got added a contact from Valve asking, hey, do you want to be the official caster of the group stages? And I've got my name put up on the website and everything, and Triumph of Man would join me, so we would have duo cast. It was the first time I ever casted with him, but it worked out okay. It was kind of fun, and that was like big break.
That's a huge
big breakthrough, of course. Yeah. Right. So that was really awesome. I also got asked to cast the group stages this 2003, or sorry, TI3 as well. Oh, it was also 13, I guess.
Right. Yeah, it was 2013.
So yeah, but that was I was also asked then to cast the group stages, which case my performance wasn't really all that well, but hopefully they'll ask.
You cast a lot of games.
That was like my biggest tournament. But other than that, it's like the consistent one is Star Ladder, cast that goes to gamers. But everything that I ever casted is on my YouTube, so if people really want to know, they can find it there.
Yes, and the YouTube link is posted in front of you guys' face. If you haven't looked it up already, I don't know what's wrong with you. Go look it up. It's right there. It's been sitting there the whole time. Come on, guys. We've only been here for 35 minutes.
Yay.
Come on. Anyway. But yeah, so you cast a lot of things. You have it all on your YouTube. So your YouTube channel has all the videos you ever casted?
I have like the group stages that I casted for TI2 or TI3. I believe it was TI2. Yeah, the group stages I casted for TI2. There's a playlist of that, but you can't find them if you scroll through, because I didn't like. I would have spammed people with games, because I didn't want to spam my subscribers all too much. I was really casting all the games, because the Europe and the East and the West games were done at the same period of time, and they were slightly overlapping. But I just casted East and West. So I casted from in the morning till in the evening. So there were like 13 games a day or something. So it was like a lot of games. And yeah, well, my first cast that I ever did, my first best of 3 Mishmash tournament cast, was not on there because I didn't know that people actually wanted to watch VODs.
Oh. But your second cast is there though.
My second cast is there. Yes.
Okay, if your second cast is there, I will find it and I will link it in the description so people can watch it. Because I recently went back and watched my first cast and it was horrible.
It was horrible. And I believe I even had a webcam on in the cast. It was so horrible. But that was a trend right then, because I wasn't the only one that was having a cam on during the casts. Because we had a different layout then as well. And then you had like your camera in one of the boxes on the side.
Right, right.
But everybody was casting with cam, including Toby and Purge. So I just copied them.
So I mean, you should just follow the lead. So next question I'll go into is how... Oh, we haven't really touched this much, but you mentioned that you don't really do any work or anything, and you did have it when you did work. You had a schedule where you would come home or go to work, come home 30 minutes, and then start casting, and then go to bed, because of your rating background. But how's casting affected you in real life as of now?
Well, it's pretty much taken over my real life.
Oh, it has? Wow. Okay.
Yes. The thing is, like when I was still playing World of Warcraft and stuff, this is something like right now casting.
I think I might
is something at least that my friends accept.
Right.
And I could actually say, right now, like casting is something that, if I say I'm sorry, I can't be there for dinner or for whatnot because I'm working, people will understand. I couldn't do that when I was still, more of a noob and actually having a job on the side.
Right.
So casting, it has like right now what I do, if like in general week or general month rather, I probably in a month I go to the supermarket twice.
What?
I try to, because I don't make that much money from casting, so I try to live very like small. So I go to the supermarket twice. I might have a social activity once a month. This month actually has been like amazing. I've been super social. I've already been to 3 different things.
On the internet, high five.
Yeah, it's but other than that, I am in my house. I wake up, I make my Reddit post. I start streaming, I continue playing, and I cast if I have casts, and I then... Normally I would stop when I want to watch Dota, so I would stop like around dinner time.
Right.
But lately there's been mostly group stages, and I am not like... I'm trying to watch the games, but I also sometimes am just continuing streaming, because not all the games are on Twitch TV.
Right.
So I actually have a decent amount of viewers around evening time, and I kind of have to stream them because that's my money on the table, my bread on the table. If I have viewers, I continue streaming basically.
Okay, so you have a defined process. That's good to hear that you have a process, because I was kind of afraid that you said no, all I do is just wake up, play Dota, and go to bed. And I was like, oh my god, no.
I wake up, I play Dota, I watch Dota, and cast Dota, and then I go to bed.
Okay, so you do some productive work. That is great.
Yes, I do try to keep in mind like what I need to do to still be also a caster, as in keep up to date with what teams are doing and stuff as well.
Right.
And just do it all.
Right.
Play, cast, sleep, eat.
You should make it a T-shirt. You might make a lot of money. All right, so it's all great to hear. So the next thing I'll ask you is, you mentioned your video process. Well, you didn't mention your video process. You mentioned YouTube. Long time ago. But could you briefly explain your video production process for all the people who are just starting out there?
Yeah, I have like for making videos, it is very simple. Especially if you have Twitch, because you can cut up your VODs in highlights in Twitch TV, and from Twitch TV you can upload it to YouTube. So you don't have to download it. You don't have to use your own upload. Just make a highlight and upload it to YouTube directly, and that is what I do. And then I use a program called it's basically a free sort of Photoshop-ish kind of program. It's called GIMP too.
Oh yeah, I use that too. I love it.
It's so amazing. Like I have like a default thing with titles and stuff, which I change the background per tournament, and then I make thumbnails that I can just add to the VOD, so that right now I'm casting the Yardwide Festival. I have one that says Yardwide Festival, and then the team names and game 1 out of the 3 casted by blah blah blah. And yeah, I just make that. And on top of that, one of the things, like especially for casters, that has actually got quite a big that's quite a big thing is production while on stream. Like if you use OBS or XSplit, like which overlays and stuff. Right. For that, GIMP is really awesome as well.
Yes, it is.
I actually learned a bit how to make my own overlays. I made a drafting overlay for myself, very especially for that. But also, I mean, when you get a couple of people that support you, you might have someone that supports you that is very good at making things. So I had someone that made overlays at some point for me, and at the moment I have someone that's making overlays for me that he makes in Adobe Air, which is basically a program.
Right.
So I have like an awesome overlay system with brackets that get updated with schedules and upcoming matches and group stages and most picked, most banned, and all that. That's all in there.
Fancy stuff.
Super flashy. Yeah. So it's like, but yeah, I would suggest like for especially if people are watching this that are starting-ish casters, spend some time getting to know GIMP, and you can make some awesome things yourself without having to rely on other people doing things.
Yes, and just to bounce off that idea, like what you guys see in front of you, like as far as the video goes, that little giant C over there, that's all made in GIMP. Sheever, you can't see it, but it's there. Believe me, I'm not crazy. But I'm moving around a little bit. I made that in GIMP. You can do some crazy awesome stuff in GIMP. And all you have to do is just sit down, like Sheever said, and just play around with it. Just get to know it.
There are so many YouTube guides as well. Like at some point I didn't know how to make transparency things, like for an overlay for in-game, for example. And it's so easy in the end. Yeah. It's just, just spend some time. Oh, and that reminds me, especially for starting out casters, put your name on the overlay.
Yeah.
So there's that.
So that way, if somebody uses it, they say, "Oh, this is just made by Sheever," or "Oh, this is made by."
Or well, rather, if you're casting someone and something and you're not really known, people know who you are because your name is there.
That too, right. I thought you were talking in reference to me, like making like drafting overlays, but yeah, I just started doing that recently, and people actually remember my name now.
Exactly, because it makes a big difference.
It helps out, especially when you have guest casters who people might not know. They might say, "Oh, that sounds familiar. Is that Luminous?" Like, no, it's not. It's somebody else. I don't know who else sounds like Lumi, but okay. All right, so I'm gonna skip through a few questions at the bottom. Let's see. What other games you played? Any interesting talents? That you?
I like the other question more. Interesting talents. I don't really have any interesting talents. Or at least I haven't unlocked them yet.
There you go. You have to do a few more things to get that cheat code to unlock it, and then the achievement will be unlocked. Yes. Okay, so we're looking forward to that one.
Yeah, and other games, people should play Far Cry 3, which is awesome.
Far Cry 3?
There you go.
I don't want to spend the money. I'm cheap. That's why I use GIMP. I'm so poor. Okay. All right, so we're coming to an end, and I want to try to end this within the next 3 minutes. So Sheever, would you like to give any shoutouts, any and all shoutouts you'd like to make?
I like to make shout out to Vice Versa, who made the overlay that I'm using right now and is still working on it every day, I believe. And like amazing, like seriously, couldn't do it without him. Like couldn't do it at all, actually. I want to shout out to my family, for supporting me always. I want to shout out to Gods for picking me up and for Purge for helping me show the ropes of the casting.
Nice.
And shout out to everybody else who helped me get where I am today, which are actually a lot of people. Like, for example, everybody that helped me go to TI3, everybody that supports me daily by being a subscriber or being just a viewer. Like, shout out to all those people. And shout out to all starting out casters. And please, more girls that watch this, go cast. It's not that hard. You just get a Twitch account, you put up your game on the screen, and you start casting. That's how you start casting. It's very simple. People sometimes ask, how do you start casting? Well, you just get a microphone, get a game, get Twitch, you can cast, and an OBS or XSplit.
Yes, and like just to highlight something that Sheever said, she said for all the ladies out there who want to cast, yes, guys would love to see you cast, but just put the game up there, don't put yourself, please, because that's kind of defeating the point. Just saying. Yeah, because
like, even though men do that too, as a girl, you'll be instantly known as the girl who put up the cam while casting. So just, you know, if you want to cast, do it for casting.
Yeah.
But cast.
Yes. Cast more games. Yeah. Will Wheaton would agree. No, actually, Will Wheaton wants us to play more games. So anyway, Sheever, where can people find you? Because I have 4 of these beautiful websites.
I want to play more games too. It's good too.
Yeah.
Oh, Skype is being ass.
Hold on. I think it might connect. It might pull through. Is it good?
Yes, it does. Hello.
Good. Okay. All right. So I have 4 of your beautiful websites posted here. So, but what other sites can people contact you at, or is there one that you prefer people try to find you at, like your Twitter or your Facebook?
Well, I see my tweets. I don't sometimes I don't always get a chance to reply to them. Most of all, if people really have a specific question for me, they can always email me via the form on my website, which is sheevergaming.com. Like, there's just a contact form, and I get all the emails, and I read them all as well. I used to be able to answer every single one of them, but that kind of started to go wrong because it's no longer true. But I do read them all, and I do sometimes, like, I try to reply, but it's just sometimes not happening. But I read them all, just so people know.
Okay. So they can contact you through email from Sheever Gaming. They can also follow you on Twitter so they can know when you're live streaming or when you're posting a video. And they can check out your Facebook for all your media stuff. Yeah,
you can always check out on twitch.tv/SheeverGaming, where normally in CET times in the afternoon and in the evening I'll probably be live. So.
Yes, she will be live. And she's also casting a whole bunch of stuff. You heard her. She likes casting a lot of things, which means you have a lot of opportunities to go watch her stuff. So go check out her stuff. She's awesome.
Yay.
Alright, so Sheever, final goodbyes to all the people out there who decided to stick with us for this whole entire almost 50-minute interview.
Yeah. Thank you for watching through it all. And thank you for the interview, of course, as well. It was fun.
Thank you for joining us on CasNet. It is a great honor to have you here with this interview. And hopefully we can get more casters to actually get the interviews. Because this is our, what, fifth interview?
Could be.
I'd say it's a good start. Good start for an interview series.
It is.
Alright, so thank you, Sheever, for joining us. I'm going to finally let you go because I know it's probably late where you are. It is getting to the point where I need to start doing homework at my time. So I'm going to go and cut the video there. So thank you guys for watching. As Sheever said, you can go follow her on Twitter. You can go check out her Facebook, YouTube page, or check out her website and email her if you want to. She'll read it, but she might not reply. But definitely go check out her stuff. She's an awesome caster. And yeah, I already said it 20 times already, but I'm honored to have her here. So we'll go ahead and cut the video there before I say too much. And we'll see you guys whenever.
Bye-bye.